Hi. Hello. It's Thursday night, which means it's time, if we're sticking to our schedule, which we're doing our best to do so, is time for a deep dive. And tonight's going to be a little different. So deep dive I'm trying to establish as a stream that initially was to kind of take a game that I know very well and go through all of its merits, all of its problems, all of its issues, and kind of the legacy of it going forward. And I was also trying to do a separate stream at the same time called This Old Game and Hello There, which also, like, Hello There was supposed to look at the first time I see a game and talk about the initial experience, and Good Old Game was This Old Game was to dive into an old game that I knew decently and talk about it. So I'm gonna try and combine all that into deep dive, where it may be a game that I have not played, it may be a game that's old, it may be a game that I know a lot about. It's basically going to be a consolidated place where we unpack a lot about a game. Tonight, the game we are unpacking is Arx Fatalis, a 2002 PC game by Arkane Studios. And it's interesting to look at Arx Fatalis for me, because mainly it's a game that I bought roughly when it came out. I was pretty into playing it at first, and then for whatever reason, just one of those things lost to the ether of time that I never really got that far into it. I enjoyed it. I really liked what it was doing. You know, this kind of blending of RPG and first-person shooter, not necessarily first-person game, in a different style than, like, let's say a System Shock or a Deus Ex was doing. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to start it, talk about what it's doing, and sort of talk about how it sort of laid the foundation for games that Arkane Studios would come to do shortly thereafter. Well, shortly thereafter, within, you know, the arc of the development of it, we definitely see that, because sort of the impetus behind all this was I picked up Prey during the Steam sale, which is, as of today, the 28th of June. It's still going. And I just, you know, Prey was a game that had come out a while ago, and they kind of rebooted the series. I think it's a reboot, I'm not sure if it's a sequel or not. Last year, and it's actually very good. It does a lot of cool things. And you see a lot of the DNA of the new Prey in Arx Fatalis, and you also see it, of course, in Dishonored, which is the game they're probably known best for, Arkane Studios. So we'll kind of look at these foundational things that we see in Arx Fatalis here, and also maybe just play some Arx Fatalis, because it's a game that it's a little clunky UI wise, and we'll see that, but it's a game I've always really wanted to kind of get really deep into, so let's do just that. So there's a movie that's going to play cinematic, and I kind of want to see it for the first time. We'll play through it.
Listen to me, beings of light, and take note of what I have to say. This is Arx, which was once a city like so many others, spreading proudly beneath the majesty of the sun. Our king Paxellus was a true and just king who knew how to deal with our occasional skirmishes with the goblins or the rat men. Many years after Paxellus's death, in the fatal year of 226, our sun began to fall into decline, and an eternal winter fell upon our world. His Majesty Lunshire, noble son of Paxellus, decided to move the whole city of Arx underground into one of the dwarves' abandoned mines. At this point, the conflicts between the different races in Arks dissolved. Not just humans, but dwarves, trolls, and goblins all worked together for their common survival. This migration underground took 5 years, during which the sun disappeared completely from our skies. All the races built their homes in this new setting, and little by little, relationships between the races began to slip back to the way they had always been. But today, evil is knocking at the gates. Akba, the god of destruction, is about to... Hey, you there! This way, quick!
Don't let him get away!
Gotcha! It's all right. He's
Come
trapped
on.
here.
Get this door broken down.
And hard smash into the menu. Okay, so yeah, it's a. First of all, I would think trolls, orcs, and dwarves would be comfortable being underground and would thus not need to adapt. Whatever. Cool. So it's a neat little concept. Definitely fantasy. You know, fantasy that kind of evokes sort of like the old Thief's games, sort of like Morrowind. Kind of a grittier fantasy, I would say, but so I would say Arx Fatalis, at least my perception of it before, and kind of because I was playing around with this with the game to get it set up for streaming and stuff, definitely strikes me as like somewhere between not really between, but a few rungs down on the Morrowind, from Morrowind in terms of the RPG-ness of it. But it has some very unique things actually that we're going to explore here. So we're given a very basic character creator here. I can be one of 5 guys. I think it is 1, 2, 3, 4 guys, all white. Sure. We have our AC. We have our armor class. We have health points, magic resistance, mana points. Those things. I guess they're shields. Our resistance to snakes, also known as poison resistance, level of damage we can inflict. Strength, which is strength as it is in every other RPG, it seems. Mental, how much mana we get. Dexterity, combat prowess, and constitution, health, and so very, very D&D, as almost every fantasy RPG takes its cues from. And then we have some skills here, also like D&D. I'm going to quick generate, mostly because I don't know enough about how these, like what the best build is, so kind of going a streamline right down the middle, I think is the best way to do it. So I played through for like 15 minutes, so I know the initial things to do, but after that, it's going to be me fumbling in the dark. Also getting used to the controls. So yeah, we are going to have the tutorials walk us through. So we get cursor mode, which is from right click. So I am playing, there's a community patch called Arx Libertatis. You can see it in the upper right there. Version. I'm actually using a development version. I'm hoping it won't crash because I was having some issues, and the more up to date, less stable version seemed to fix them. So at the very least, we can stream some of it, and hopefully we can get through it tonight. So what Arx Libertatis does is, as I understand, I don't think it does a ton of gameplay stuff. It mostly just focuses on making sure it can render and run correctly on modern computers and graphics cards. I don't know if it fixes any. Because every game has bugs, but I don't know if they try to fix any bugs or quest stuff. So, so we have an interact mode here. move stuff around. We have our little inventory at the bottom. Certain things you can't bring, certain things you can... So, anyone who's played Prey, or Dishonored, will see lots of parallels here.
Stranger, we have to get out of here.
My memory, it's gone. Not even my own name. What did I come here to do?
The gobblers probably crept up on you from behind. Bloody gobblers. Come on, look around yourself. There has to be a way to get out on your side. I can't do anything on my side.
Voice acting, not super great. Like, it's not terrible, but they're... just both from a writing and performance standpoint, not great, but...
I should be able to work that loose.
Okay, so let's take stock of what we got here. Got some mushrooms. Which we... So I can either... Yeah, as I said, I can... So this stealth mode... And I'm not going to pick apart this game too much on its tutorial experience. It's, you know, over 16 years old. We've learned a lot of lessons in game design since then, so... just interface-wise, definitely a little clunky. And you've seen Arkane smooth that out over the years. So we got ourselves a neighbor over here. I'm going to turn on the sensitivity just a skoch if I can. It's a little jumpy for me. I thought I had done this before, but I guess it didn't save my settings or something. So. That's a little better.
Shut up, human.
Okay, fair enough.
Well done.
Sweet.
Lords, attack!
Definitely a very weighty combat system. A little goofy. Not unlike Morrowind's, to be honest. Is he gonna kill me? He almost killed me. Would have been very embarrassing. He had himself a letter and a carrot. That's great. I want to eat that carrot. I'll read the letter. Me come replace you after me eat. You watching humans. You just be careful with new one. Him dangery looking. And a tall. Take your wine, take your bread, take your fish. I mean, I guess I could let him out, right? Like, just take a bunch of these. Right, you can't take the carrots for some reason. I'm gonna take this chair. I'll put that chair there.
Got him. Now, please, open my cell.
Just gonna leave. It won't actually let me leave until I open his cell. Alright.
Work the lever on the side of my cell. Thank you, Shigar. If you can't remember your name, you better keep this one. It means he who has no name in a
Thanks.
foreign tongue. My name is Koltar, and I was part of the Travelers Guild before I ended up here.
I'm Shigar. Guess I'll keep this name for now. What is this guild of travelers?
Well, you really have lost your memory, haven't you? Our world no longer has a sun to heat it, and outside is nothing more than a huge expanse of ice. Only those who are trained and equipped for extreme conditions are allowed to make the dangerous trek between fortress cities hidden deep in the mountains. These people are the Guild of Travelers.
Right. We We shall
Right.
discuss this later. Now let's get out of here.
I'm injured. I won't be able to get through this hole. I'll stay here and wait till you can open the door. Don't worry about me.
So he's gonna. He wanted to me to free him, and then the first chance he gets a chance to be free, he's like, no, I'll stay. You go.
It seems it will not open so easily.
What was that? That was a weird take. It seems like it will not open very easily. Again, smash that. So the thing that I definitely took some getting used to was
Thanks again. I'll never forget your help, Shigar.
was getting through the different phases, the different stances or states in terms of being in sort of interact mode, combat mode, and as we'll see later, a spell mode, which we're not ready for yet. But we can still do. We can... and we'll get into that once we get our first spell things. Oh, good legs. Just landed that jump. No problem. Alright. So I am a notorious pack rat when it comes to games like this. Playing games like Morrowind and Oblivion and Skyrim are both a delight and a hell for me, because I want to pick up everything and put it in my pocket. And you can't do that unless you use some mods. It's a corpse. Corpse has 2 bones and some runes. So, let's try to think of a game that did something similar to this. I guess Skyrim is the most modern example of learning magic through phrases. I feel like there were some other ones though, where you basically learn the characters, or the parts of the spell. You put them together. Yuck. So lion to the right, and a little sort of a fancy L. Sure. Let's get into magic mode. I thought that was pretty good. No? So yeah, so what you do is you make the signs of the spell and it will cast it, or you can store them up. So if I hold shift while I do this, yeah, like that. Seems to be having trouble picking up my... What if I do it backwards? Yeah, I was having this trouble before. So you'll see in the lower left there, the pulsating, I can do that up to 3 times. I hope I won't need to do this for story things too often because it doesn't really like to do it. Alright, so what it doesn't really tell me though is what the spell will do until you try it once. So this is Ignite. This is the spell Ignite. It will basically light everything around me that is flammable, which is kind of neat. So we will use the version, one of our stored versions now. Pretty cool. And my Hello. Got him. Take those ribs. Fire damage? Is fire damage there? Curious if there's a oops. Oh, he has pants by the way. We should probably wear pants. Now we're wearing pants. So yeah, so this a very interesting way of trying to reduce. So there are two reasons to do something like this: to reduce the amount of localization that you need to do for multiple markets, to have everything be icons and numbers without a lot of text. So that's actually pretty smart. Whereas, and then leaving things to be hovered over to get the, you know, they only have to localize the mouse over text, not everything on the character sheet. Kind of interesting where you just mouse over the piece on you and to get the stats on it. Nowadays we would see this as a mouse over kind of tooltip over the cursor, but it's basically the same thing. Tells me that my armor class and my weapon strength are being modified accordingly. Bone does +1 damage. And it's, you know, story-wise, it's a, you know, we did a bit of world building there at the beginning. I keep wanting to press attack to bring out my weapon a la Morrowind at all, but it doesn't do that. So you can hold a charge, which is the meter in the bottom. So yeah, so we're given some world building. Not a whole lot more other than you're a prisoner. Off you go. Sort of like Morrowind, sort of like Oblivion. Sort of like Skyrim, basically. It's no wonder that Arkane was purchased / acquired by Bethesda, or ZeniMax, the meta company that owns Bethesda as well, or operates / owns. Just not like my version of that. Oh, I wasn't saving it. Oops. I'm going too fast, maybe? Maybe that's it. I'll just go slower. Okay. Double click on the rope in your inventory once you have found it. What if I haven't found it? So there's no run. It's just the stealth, which is walk slower, which is kind of interesting. I didn't do anything in spite of it. Got some Durgar parts there. It's not fair. It's not fair. I'll stop doing that. That's a spider. Okay. Oh. I'm hearing something walking. That's a pelvis. I'm hearing something walking around, and I'm a little unnerved by it. So I know that there are many, not many, but there's at least one spider nearby. I make fire. So mana doesn't really seem to be too much of a thing. Yeah, it definitely likes it when I do it slower. Still a little touchy, but my mana doesn't really seem to be too. Unfortunately, I don't get values of my two pools of. So how would I actually do this? drag them on the fire. Nice. That's kind of cool. So, you know, tactile lets you feel like you're, you know, actually putting stuff on the fire. That's cool. Let's put this fish on the fire. Cook that fish. I've got a whole picnic basket here in my inventory. And I got a Fatalis too. Yeah, we got a verbal feast. We got some cooked fish. We got some mushrooms. We got some ribs. We got some bread. Like this is. We're gonna have a delightful afternoon here. We're more or less outside of how far I got when I tested this. So there's. It's gonna just be raw gameplay interaction from here on out. There was not a thing here. That was wasted. First, on a magic scroll to memorize the spell. Okay, so we get new spells from scrolls. That's cool. Didn't actually mean to drink that. Cure poison, 5 gold, and even more bones. Sweet. So yeah, let's memorize magic missile. I want to cast the spell, just double click the action on the spell symbol that just appeared at the bottom of the screen. This symbol here? Yeah, okay. So, does that teach me the spell, or does it just cue it for me? Like if I use it, is it gone forever? I suspect yes, so let's take care to use it only when we have to. Perhaps on the spider. So it's not clear, and again, this was an age of games that assumed that the player would, to some extent, read the guide, the manual that came with the game. So, like, I was going to point out that, pretty. Point out that, you know, there's no explanation given for what these icons are here. I assume they mean durability, just because I've played games, but you know, not everyone may have that information. I think there's an actual frog in there. I don't think there is. All right. I do like the level of interactivity, you know, moving rocks around, putting things on fires. It feels good, you know. It's and you did see, you know, I won't spend the whole time talking about Morrowind and the Elder Scrolls games, but you didn't see that used a lot in those games. Like, you could pick up stuff, right? Like, you could you know, pick up chains and bowls and stuff if you wanted to. But there was never really a ton of reason to do so. Aside from, like, trying to pick up corpses, maybe, so people don't see them. But that wasn't necessarily a... okay, we got a key. Some sort of angry rodent. Hello. Just the person the right button now. More ribs for later. I saw some pliers, which I can't actually take with me. Okay. So we got a rope, got some tools, we got a key. We got a lot going on here. If this was a survival game in terms of eating food, we would be set. I am so good at throwing things. They land perfectly on the bottom one, I think. Okay. Keep hitting space to try and walk faster, and that's not happening. I should probably have been on that, huh? I should also be trying to quick save when I can, because this is, like most games at this time, not super generous with checkpoints, if any, so. Ribs, ribs, ribs. I like that of all the things on a rat, it's like ribs. Ribs are what you're going for. Not that I would want to eat a rat, but we're going to equip this sword, which I assume is better than our bone. This dagger, sorry. Yes, it is in fact better. Nice. Oh, there's jumping. Wonder, that's sort of a awkward forward thrust jump, but I jump all the same. Definitely scratches the sort of dungeon crawler vibe, though, because you are literally crawling a dungeon, but, you know, it's building atmosphere, it's not too hectic. I'm sure that'll ramp up. I present my sword for inspection by a mouse such as this. It's a scary sound, actually. The level up sound is a little sudden, but okay, it's good to be. Yeah, let's do that. Add points by clicking an attributes icon. The mouse pointer will. Alright, so we can kind of build our character a little bit. It's like we can do one, you know, sort of in D&D fashion, one attribute and some skills. What kind of person do I want to be? Let's keep it simple and be a fighting person. Okay. Let's do that. Let's get a little better at. I have a shield. Let's get a little better at casting. I think I should know stuff. Get a little better at that. I'm not really good at trying to do stealth. I do like to see hidden things, though. Okay, again, I have no idea as to the... I'm not trying to min-max my character here. I don't know what the the best way to build someone in Arx Fatalis is. So we're just gonna do our thing and see how it goes. I assume going with a build that is doing damage and knowing objects will not be to my. It can only be to my benefit, I would hope. First angry thing I see is gonna get this magic missile. Just saying. Cue the angry thing. Okay, he was not impressed with that magic missile. Oh, it's my friend. Don't get in my way here, buddy. I'm trying to. Oh, all right, we did it.
We got him.
Hooray! Are you alright?
Just after you went through the hole, I heard a noise.
A noise.
So I hid and waited till a goblin came in. This time I got the drop on him, sneaky bastard.
And yet you're still clutching yourself. Give me that gold. What is this? Go away, tooltip. Oh, it's a lever. Okay. Can't wear any of his armor or anything? Alright.
You'd better go now, Shagar.
Reservation. Really? All those letters say that? Mm-hmm. 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 I have just the thing. Hmm. Right. You know, these constant earthquakes are a little discerning. I don't know how you're feeling, Koltar, but
Go quickly before the next ship gets here.
that's a little funky. Like manually loading levels. Like I'm going up the stairs, you can kind of infer that I want to change levels. So I think I can. I don't think I can actually pull up the map proper. I think I get this. Just have this little mini map. Okay, so that's down again.
You lose again.
Well, the reason to throw stuff. A little bit of thief. That if you can see the icon there.
You know why gray goblins have mustaches?
Oh,
Remind them of their mothers.
good one. Pretty good. The comedy stylings of the goblins. A leak. This goblin was taking a leak. Wait, is this is where I started, okay. The lighting is different. Although my chair is still there, so that's cool. See how effective this can be. Well, not that effective when I drop it like that. Hi.
Hey, human! Here, human!
It's the Ferengi way of saying human. Human.
Die!
Not a lot of subtlety to the goblin characters. Me talking this way. It's a little throwaway.
Moving over there.
Huh?
Here is human.
No, he didn't buy it.
Die, bastard.
What? You don't know I'm a bastard. It's rude. Where you going? Seriously, where are you going? Is he going towards other goblins? Should I not be chasing him? I don't have a... Sure, bye. Like, I don't have a bow and arrow or anything. I'm not gonna chase him.
You regret it.
Oh, he brought a friend. That's where he went.
Is it you want fighting about? You rot with war. Me rip your heart out.
That's just rude.
Ah, human.
So, I don't have a way of, like... Wow. That was very effective. Let's eat some of my own food here. Let's eat an apple. So is healing yours, I mean, over time, or it looks like just once? So let's eat some of these cooked ribs. I think there's also a layer of natural regen. Hello, short sword. You're my new friend. Gonna take the cards. Aw. I assume he's picking up the whole stack as he moves this around and puts them. I shouldn't waste durability if it in fact does waste durability on hitting surfaces a la Dark Souls or whatnot, so I shouldn't burn it.
You regret it. That dog should have been there.
Okay. Oops. Trying to distract him.
Get moving. Eat this.
It's the second chair I put up on a service today. You know what, we'll take some club. I don't actually want to use the club right now. Sort of saving it for later, if you will.
Thank you. Me go to tavern upstairs.
Okay. Will do. I appreciate your very straightforward way of communicating. Well, sure. Sometimes that just, you know. Oh, I can't. I don't want to play with his dead body. I wanted to search it, but okay. Looks like a thing you can pull out. So yeah, we definitely see we see the formula that we see in Prey, that we see I think almost to a lesser extent in the Dishonored series, but it's definitely here, right? Like different ways to approach combat. You can go stealthy. You can go you know, melee. You can try and use the environment to your advantage. Not a ton here, but there's like little flecks of it, right? By trying to distract them and using powers. Both Prey and Dishonored rely pretty heavily on your character having powers. Prey with the mutagens, whatever the actual name of them are, and this with magic, and Dishonored with just kind of the gifts that Corvus is granted by, I forget, it's a witch or something who gives it to him. So yeah, so we have kind of a cool template here. That they've been refining, that they clearly see value in enough to keep working on it. Now this is the end of Goblin Kingdom. I might queue up some fire off some. Because I want to light some things.
Here is human.
Here is human. The crits feel kind of, I mean, they're cool, but they do feel kind of weird. He had cheese and bread. It's like a French breed of goblins. Play with some juice here, sure. So can I? We can try and lockpick these things.
It's too complicated.
Oh, it's too complicated. Why'd you go and have to make it so complicated, Door? Alright, I've already seen this room. I do like that they're, and again, this is a part of the formula that they've worked on over the years is, and why I'm drawn to it as I am to parts of Quake, is the atmosphere of it, right? Like, we're not doing a lot of music here, we're not doing a lot of extraneous sound, we're mostly just letting the atmosphere kind of take over. You know, we got some cool ambient stuff in the background, but it's not, you know, it's, I'm guessing I can't pick this lock. We're gonna try anyway.
It's too complicated for me.
No, I'm pretty stupid. I do like that there's a map, though. At the very least, a mini map. Try and stealth. Nope. Can't really stealth in the light, I guess. He's just gonna go find a big guy, which he has done. Oh, I think he's not a big guy, but
Damn you!
wine. Yeah, these are just French goblins, like wine and bread and cheese on everybody. Stealth. I mean, I can. Oh, I have a problem killing him if I need to. No.
Get moving!
I did not put anything into stealth, so that makes sense.
You think you can hurt me?
That's the goal. Goal achieved, I guess. Okay. An unsigned goblin authorization. A piece of paper with writing on it. I could figure out what the first one was, but the second piece of paper, no idea. My dear goblin friends, as our agreement seems set to continue, I would like to confirm my order for 2 more humans to sacrifice to our beloved Akba. You'll receive 1, 0, 0, 0 gold pieces per head upon delivery. I will bring you this princely sum in person. Lord Asirius. Oh, he had a picture of a king on there. Aww. Let's light up his room. Nice. Sunflower. I cannot take sunflower. Can I lift sunflower? I can't even lift sunflower. Okay, that's a little weird for that just to be there. But I can go through the outpost doors now. Oh, that goes upstairs, which we're not quite ready to do. We haven't seen all the things we want to see yet.
Who go there? If you is come for trading, we need to see your written authorization from boss himself. I may have to see your gem dealer badge.
My quest book has been updated. I don't have either of those things. What will they do if they just see me?
Stupid human. We need gem dealer badge and signed authorization from the boss. We thought that you is.
Well, I have the blank paper. So. So can we, I guess the question is, can we get out with the key now? So yeah, you know, a neat, it's not just a hack and slash, it's not fully narrative driven either. You know, it's an interesting kind of middle ground. have this key right here. That's cool. I like that how they. Oh, that means I could have probably used this key somewhere else as well. Ooh, a shield. Oh, it's broken. Just discovered a new element. Spacium. Sorry, spacium. Is it? Looks like it's a C or a G that I'm drawing. What's not clear to me is how I learn new spells. Okay. Sword and board. Good to go. These caves are whispering backward things to me already, and I'm already freaked out. Probably shouldn't be using my best weapon on these little rats. TH. The atmosphere that they're building here, it's pretty creepy. So do you think we'll have to actually fight him, or we'll just have a chat? Probably have to fight him. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt, though. Let's not attack first. Hi. Can we maybe be friends? Good.
Want to work for goblins. Me not like goblins. Goblins are little. Can't trust goblins. Goblins think trolls stupid.
No.
Me live here. I'm all with dishes.
That's nice.
Fish not give orders, and me eat them.
So if I understand correctly, the trolls work for the goblins.
King of trolls, follow goblins' orders. Goblins. Group prefer stay here. Free. No orders. No working.
And I do wonder. Oh, it's nice. Nice. I do wonder what the
Today, Crew's birthday.
Oh, we'll see.
But Crew alone. Him not have friends. Him not have friends.
Oh, Gru.
Don't
worry, you'll be a major character in a movie in 8 years.
Teamwork for goblins. Crew's sad.
Well, maybe we could be friends.
Really? You want me Crew's friend? Oh, me have no friend. Well, rat. What you got for Crew's
12
birthday then?
uncooked rat ribs.
Let me see what I can do.
Okay. What I was wondering is, it's pretty good, Gru. What the game will let me do in terms of attacking important characters. Like, is this a game where I could attack Gru? If I so desired? I'm not a fan of games that mix tutorial stuff with quest information. I know it's nice to have, your journal kind of be consolidated, but it, can I take his art, by the way? I can move it around. What do you think a troll would want for his birthday? Can bring him some cooked fish. Man, he's been busy. So this seems cool. I like this. Clearly, it's a portal of some kind. Clearly, I have not the art to make it function. Maybe he likes flowers and ferns. Can't climb and hump this wall. Okay. Perfect. Teleport that. Send it off for denizens of the other dimension to enjoy. That's where Gru is. That's where I came from. Not a ton for me to do here, aside from Gru, looks like. I do note that the portal is shown on the map as its own thing, so it's definitely a thing I'll need to care about. Right. Okay. I don't know if that's actual content or if that's side content or what's going on, but this is the right way. So yeah, so even now, even you know, 16 years after it came out, I want to go the other way. This is still very effective at what it's trying to do, for the most part. Obviously, the combat is very clunky. Okay, maybe not very, but obviously the combat is clunky. But you know, the exploration, the push to interact with objects in a very meaningful way, to be actively putting keys in doors and putting fish in fire and doing all these things, still feels very good. This part, me having to manually click to go upstairs, least favorite part. Such is life. But yeah, this definitely holds up in terms of being fun. Like, I definitely want to keep playing this. Don't know that I'll stream it because I don't know that it makes for good content, but I'll definitely want to kind of see this through. I'm playing a bunch of stuff right now, so it may take some time before we get to it, but yeah, this definitely holds up. I think I'm roughly where I got to when I first played it, way back when it came out, because this is starting to look a little familiar. Oh, I was gonna try and light the torch and everything, but I don't have to. I just hold it. Okay. You know, some really, you know, honestly, it's a cool aesthetic that still kind of holds up. The, you know, having all these races that live underground, build their cities underground. You know, seeing underground human cities is it's actually a pretty unique thing still. Ooh. Ooh, a regeneration ring. I'm gonna wear the hell out of that. Get some cheese. We're gonna hang on to your sword. We can probably ditch some bones now that we have better weapons at this point. I don't really have a sense of. Well, let's see. How's my short sword doing? This is my dagger, not my short sword, but fine. No difficulty level either. So it just sort of does its thing at the pace, at one pace. This is a destroyed portal. That's interesting. Kind of teaches us that this can happen. Ooh, spellcasting ring. Ah, that's what those slots were. Those are ring slots. I was wondering what those were. Maybe engaging someone here somewhere. I hear somebody barking about chicken. Oh, my torch is still here? The icon's not there anymore. I don't know if I'm still holding it though. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, I can't hold it while I'm... Don't like how it puts away your weapon when you go to interact with stuff. And doesn't put it back. Hello. What's up, puppy? I choose to pet the dog. That's not really the sound that kind of dog would make, but whatever. Hi. Oh, it's the bar. I want to ask for Pistorius.
Will you sign Frost's papers for me?
Give me official payment.
Alright. That's half my... Alright, I actually have to give them to him.
Your papers in order.
Nice. Oh, I appear to be stuck. I thought it was just keeping me in place so I...
The outpost has been attacked by the Ilsen.
Oh boy. Uh-oh. Shit.
Pulses, why were you taken prisoner?
Well, me tell you because you're my friend now. You know, some humans disappear, turn into dinner for Akbar.
Akbar?
Akbar hungry, always hungry. We goblins did deals with Akbar's slaves. In the beginning, good for business. We give humans
Okay, can I not be stuck, please?
There have been lots of earthquakes
Where's my last quick save? Oh, it was... Okay.
Me not like Akbar.
So yeah, I like that, just in terms of world building, that we established pretty early on that it's not just you versus all these enemies. It's not, you know, a Doom or a Quake or, you know, this is you know, again, in the vein of Morrowind, but you know, the comparisons. I'm actually curious when Morrowind came out versus. It's come out May 1st. Okay, it's come out a year afterwards. Okay, so Morrowind had a year on it. No, May 1st, 2002. June 20th. Okay, so these games were... Alright, it was... definitely... So they definitely weren't... They were... It's actually kind of fascinating that they were both doing the same sort of stuff, because Morrowind is where Bethesda took their... You know, the model from Arena and Daggerfall and sort of formed it around a 3D world and a 3D open world, and a 3D open world that had sort of this kind of level of interaction with, you know, different NPCs and different factions, and this is a little more linear than obviously Morrowind is, but it's interesting to know that they were actually. See, I assume that this kind of came afterwards in sort of the.
The yellow rose?
I don't know what that's about. But they're actually developed in tandem, or at the same time, not together, but in parallel.
Welcome to the Yellow Tulip, stranger.
Thanks.
Drink and relax. You'll always be welcome here.
to our good king.
You talk while you're drinking, but it's impressive.
Will you leave me alone now?
Good lord. Holy shit.
I need a password to get through that metal door over there.
Ooh, I'm sorry, darling. Perhaps later, once you've been initiated.
No. Don't sacrifice me to your god, please. What we don't know is there stealing? There's not. Okay.
Hey there, you look lost. Come on over and have a drink. Take a load off. I'm Enoil Calpal. And this little rat hole is my favorite haunt.
Is that Nick Valentine?
Tell me a little about yourself.
Actually, I'm having trouble with my memory. Can you tell me who I am?
You're a trusting soul. Sorry, friend. As I said, never laid eyes on you before. No one around here look familiar to you? Maybe you were with the Guild of Travelers. Some horrible disaster befell them, leaving you to wander around traumatized. Or maybe some thug hit you on the head and lifted your purse.
That's the same voice actor who
Tell
does
me about this place.
Nick Valentine in Fallout 4. I mean, it sounds a lot like him.
Drink and complain. But maybe you meant the bigger picture. You
Oh,
must
wow.
have really smacked your noggin. We live down here in these old
Yeah.
mines because our sun flared out some years ago and left the topside world a frozen wasteland.
But how many people live here? Where can I find this guild of travelers that I might belong to?
You know, I'm not really sure just how many of us there are crammed down here. Besides us men, you got your goblins, dwarves, trolls, and you got different factions of each. Hard to say, really. As for the Travelers Guild, they're a bunch of hard-to-kill bastards who keep the lines of communication and trade open between us and all the other rat hole cities. supposed to be a long, tough trek between cities, so we don't see them too often. Maybe a while before we see another group. You can always find me here if you ever need me. If you ever want to find me, I'm usually here.
Some words carved on a stone. Yeah, this. Okay. Voice actor worked on Thief, System Shock 2, Thief 2, this, Neverwinter Nights, Fallout 3, Fallout 3 Broken Steel, Skyrim, Dawnguard, Fallout 4, Dishonored 2, Prey. So he's also going to be in Fallout 76. So this, it's very cool to see the overlap between Arkane. I mean, obviously they are Bethesda now, but it is cool to see even back then kind of the overlap. Alright, let's play a little bit longer, kind of see where we get to, but I think we're getting the gist here.
Been a while since we saw Azrael Darkthorn. I bet he died in the crypt.
Yeah, probably. Dick. Tomb Raider. Oh, you'll lose. No. No. How much gold do I have? 36. I'll place one token on Eat.
Welcome, stranger. My name is Rinko. You can win lots of gold with me. If you want to know the rules of the game, just read them. They're pinned up on this wall.
How convenient.
And now, spin the wheel. I'm sure you'll have better luck next time.
It's rigged. So yeah, this definitely, even now, I feel does things with the player interaction with the world that the Elder Scrolls games sort of didn't take advantage of. And it does. It makes it feel more interactive. It makes you feel like you're...
Get out of here
Okay,
before I
sorry.
call the guards.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, it's I wish more games would do that. Like I know it was probably phased out in favor of optimizing the gameplay experience and smoothing it out, making not having the player have to click here and click on that and do this to do that to get the result. But I don't know. To me anyway, it feels. Yeah, it feels good. I like that.
He's very cute.
Who? Della?
You know, handsome, wouldn't mind helping you relax. But I really prefer men with a bigger purse.
Rude. Can't help how much money I have. Because I just lost some. I'm bad at gambling.
I can feel that luck is with us today.
Always find
Try
me
your
here.
luck in the game and leave with your pockets full of gold.
Okay. Not a ton more to do in here. Secret words in the back or anything? No. And it's definitely a very cool take on the fantasy trope where it's not just like go kill goblins and kill trolls and talk to dwarves. They're, and I'm sure this will unfold more as we get into it, but there are factions of these, and they're not all hostile, and they're each doing their own thing.
Password.
Open up. Just gave it to you.
Password.
Tizzy told me you could open the door.
Password.
The yellow rose?
Apparently, the Ilsids attacked the food.
Alright, let's check out what's going on in the burning city of humans. What happened?
The reinforcements. Go and see Ortian immediately. Please, go and see if Ortian is still alive. He should be
Sure.
upstairs. In his quarters.
I mean, we've got short swords for days here, so we probably can finish throwing out these bones. Probably don't need all of these. This leak takes up a lot of inventory space. Oh, I can just take flour from this. I don't know why. Can I forge stuff here? I don't know if I'm doing anything or not. Oh, I just broke my hammer doing that. That did not fix anything. Okay.
I should be able to repair my weapons with that.
Okay. How? Let's learn here.
I cannot improve them any further.
Oh, look at that. You can repair their durability, but at a cost of their maximum durability. We have seen that before. Okay. Let's go see what's up, and then we'll probably call it there. Did you make all the record order? Don't eat that. I mean, I kind of have to, right?
Locked. Locked.
Locked. I've got like, no, this won't work.
Locked. It's too complicated for me. Not really a very successful attempt. Locked.
But not too complicated.
Civilian. I am Orthian, captain of the King's armies and commander of this outpost. Are you a mercenary? Can we count on your help?
Depends on what.
Mercenary. Perhaps. For now, I've just put some distance between myself and a couple of goblins. What happened to you?
We were attacked by a small group of Ilsids. They wounded me and took 3 of my men.
The Yelsids?
Yields.
2 hours ago, 3 of them infiltrated the outpost. They attacked without warning or provocation. The Ilsid have earned a reputation as fierce and unstoppable warriors, and now I've seen it with my own eyes. This feat is unbelievable. In a flash, they disabled and dragged off 3 of my men. You must have seen what they did to Karnak. I don't know why they did that, but I do know it would be long before they returned.
Find someone else to help. I have my own problems to deal with.
You are my only hope. I cannot trust the rabble at the tavern. I'd sooner trust a total stranger.
I just told you that.
You have to go to the castle and tell the king what has happened here. This is of vital importance. Since the last earthquake, the path to the castle has been blocked by a cave-in, and we have been unable to get through. You must tell him that the Ilsids have declared war on us.
This is ridiculous. You've just told me that the path leading to the castle is blocked.
You should be able to go through the Goblin's Cave 2 levels down, and find a way back up to this level. It's dangerous and roundabout, but we have no choice. If you find a way back up there, you should be back in the human kingdom once again.
Impossible. I've only just escaped from a goblin prison.
Here, this will help. It's a gemstone dealer's license. As long as they
Hooray!
don't attack them, they'll probably leave you alone.
Now we know where to
I
go.
stay here. You are our only hope, brave mercenary.
Got some flour. Here, I'll leave this for you. In case you get hungry or you want to make a cake. Here. Hello, 32 gold. I may have too much stuff. We're definitely gonna swap out. Bad slash good is the one we have now, so this one's the worst one I have. Clang. Okay, so I assume we'll find some arrows or a bow.
Do you understand? Right. Go into the Goblin's caves with the license.
Yeah, I got it.
Find a way back up to the castle.
Who's open now?
Locked.
Bullshit.
Locked.
Bullshit. Try and pick it with my sword.
I cannot break it just like that.
I appreciate the feedback, actually. It's good to know that I shouldn't be chasing after such a thing. Wow, this looks familiar, just in terms of picking up books that were written like this. Okay, I think that will do it for our deep dive into Arx Fatalis. It's definitely it definitely still does hold up, as I was saying. there are elements to it that are obviously dated, but there are parts to it that we don't really even see. Like I was saying in games, you know, sort of the interaction between the player and the environment is not clunky. I actually think it's smart. It feels good. You know, we're doing some excellent role. You know, we've only been playing for about an hour and a half, and we've done some excellent role building in terms of understanding what's going on the ground. We very much reinforced what's happening with the overall story, in terms of, you know, our son going away and all that. So yeah, Fatalis definitely holds up. I will keep playing this off stream. And if anyone's curious about my further impressions, you can hit me up, and we'll be happy to chat about it. But yeah, that'll do it for the deep dive. Coming up next on the schedule is Uncork the Campaign, which is me playing Shadowfall Dragon. I always say Shadowfall. Shadowrun Dragonfall. Part 4 or 5 of my ongoing campaign in that. So thanks for hanging out with me if you did, or watching this on demand. Appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.